about a minute.
Good evening and welcome to the Dudley Planning Board meeting for Wednesday, August 22nd, 2018. Present this evening, Daniel Edmiston, Clerk of the Board, Gregory Benoit, member, Kevin Sullivan, member, and Don Johnson, our town planner, and myself, Guy Horn, chairman. First item on our agenda, appointment of alternate member. We previously had Mr. John Briere as our alternate member. He's also working on the Economic Development Committee. I believe he's the chairman on that committee.
That's right.
And he has recommended another gentleman to take his place as our alternate. He couldn't make it this evening. His name is Russell Giglio. But I would like to see if we could get a motion to appoint Russell Giglio as the alternate member to the planning board.
I move to appoint Russ Giglio as alternate member of the planning board.
Okay, so we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous? So he unfortunately couldn't make it this evening, but he will be here at our next meeting. So, and if we need his services, that will be greatly appreciated. And we also appreciate Mr. Briere for stepping up and being it for last year for us. Next item on the agenda this evening, B, approval of minutes from August 8th meeting. Somebody like to make a motion for the acceptance of the minutes from August 8th?
I've read through the minutes from the last meeting. I'd like to make a motion that we accept them as written.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the minutes as written. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous? We have to sign 2 copies of that.
I've got one started.
Okay, I'll pull them out of here.
Another one there?
Okay, back to the agenda. Item C for this evening, we have an A&R plan for 25 Marshall Terrace. This was presented at our last meeting. There was no applicant here for it, and there was quite a few things that were missing or would need to be waived, so we said that we were going to deal with it as an incomplete submission. So did we get a new plan from the applicant?
I spoke to the applicant about a week ago, but
And nothing came in.
Yeah.
And is there anybody here for 25 Marshall Terrace? Okay, seeing that nobody's here, we'll continue it to the next meeting. And again, we'll say that it's an incomplete submission. It's not rejected, it's just incomplete.
21st day would be tomorrow. I was logged in the office, but wasn't actually logged into the town clerk's office, so.
Okay. Item D, discussion and status report on finished construction of acceptance of unaccepted subdivision streets, including Pierpont Estates, Rocky Hill Estates, Piastre Road, Country View Estates, Toven Farms. Anything with Pierpont Estates?
Pierpont, I went there about a week ago and it was sidewalk work. That doesn't sound right, but
Sidewalk.
that's what it was. It's just, the paving of the sidewalks is just about done.
Okay. All right, because I remember the last meeting that we had when the developer was present, he did say that his intention was to have it completed by the end of August, so he's got about another week to go.
Yeah, you'll probably start doing the paving and the repairs to the pavement and moving the catch basins up to the top coal level and all that sort of thing.
Okay. Is there anybody here to speak on? There's somebody for Pierpont Estates.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening.
Chairman, board members. We have a serious problem with drainage at Pierpont Estates. I'd like to bring that to your attention.
Okay.
Since the sidewalks have been mostly completed, we've had some serious runoff, and it has flowed into multiple driveways and multiple residents along Noble as well as Queen Circle, and it is washing out parts of that brand new installed sidewalk. So there is need for additional catch basins clearly here, and I'll give you folks some pictures to review based on past couple storms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, could you, just for the record, could you state your name and your address, please?
Do we have a sign-in sheet or?
We have sign sheet.
Jason Thies, 2 Queen Circle.
So you're a resident over there?
Yes, I am.
Jason, no, Queen Circle, that's not the first cul-de-sac on the left when you're going up, it's the second one?
It's the second one. So
Okay.
the drainage coming off of Prince down Noble to Queen is causing serious erosion problems. There is a sinkhole on the right hand of the side of the main roadway going up that you could fit probably 10 human beings in, and it is washing out on multiple driveways along 38, 40, my residence on 2 Queen Circle, and spilling over and washing out underneath that sidewalk. That sidewalk is going to collapse if it keeps flooding.
Okay.
On my original plans that I got from the homeowner that I purchased the residence from, there's supposed to be a catch basin close to my house on Noble,
Yep.
which is not there.
Okay. Can we keep these pictures that you submitted?
Absolutely, and I have additional if you need them.
I
Okay.
know there were sinkholes, and we will be addressing that. And I'll
Okay.
certainly bring this to Jeff's attention.
Do you know when Jeff is scheduled to go back out there?
I don't know. You know, that depends on Tony's schedule, too.
Okay. And you are, on that sheet, would you mind leaving your contact information?
Absolutely. Jason Thies, 2 Queen Circle, and my email address is jthies1@gmail.com.
Okay, because if we have the engineer going out there, we could let you know when that's going to happen. So
Absolutely.
if you wanted to be there and point out to him exactly what you're seeing, that would be a bad thing, obviously.
Absolutely, yeah. We have a couple sinkholes going up before you hit Queen Circle, so before, about halfway up to Prince, and another one on the right-hand side, and there's some serious washout, and you can see the dirt on those photos, so it's washed out several times. We've had to literally shovel mounds of dirt
Right,
from the washout. So.
and it's, I mean, the storms we've been having lately have been kind of severe.
They're a little aggressive, yes, but our worry is that they can, you know, we have a couple of those a year, it's gonna wash things out, so,
Right.
Especially if we're missing a catch basin there.
yes.
All right,
That's all I have this evening, thank you.
thank you very much for coming in.
All right.
Thank you.
So just real quick, are we going to talk to our contact at Graves Engineering to review this, or how are we going to address it?
Yeah,
We'll hold Jeff tomorrow or Friday. You know.
tomorrow, Friday? Okay.
And we don't need an actual motion to contact him, do we? We can
No.
just alert him.
Involved in the expansion of the subdivision anyway.
Yeah.
And we have your contact information, so if Mr. Graves, if the engineer would like to have some more pictures, you could provide those. Okay.
Wonderful.
But there is damage already out there that he can look at. Sinkholes, you said, and, deal.
Okay. Okay. So the next one we have on our agenda this evening, Rocky Hill Estates, and I think the gentleman just left.
Well, since he just left, can I just touch back on Pierpont Estates real
Sure.
quick?
Mhm.
Being relatively new with the planning board, were there any waivers that we requested in that, or that had been requested that we granted in that area that we're aware of, that would have affected us in any way, shape, or form?
No, we
No,
wouldn't,
not
we wouldn't
really.
waive
Well, it's
drainage.
probably-
Yeah, that's-
There's a,
Reasonably sure about that, but I know that,
yeah, I'm sorry.
I was just asking, just if there's anything that,
Yeah, he said that The gentleman just said that there's a catch basin that wasn't there. It's probably covered up. He probably has to dig it out of the top coat, bottom coat, or at
The
the first
binder
coat
course?
pavement, binder course. Raise the frame up to the top, so that when the
Makes
top
sense.
coat goes on, it matches up with the frame. It's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know about the ones with the sinkholes. I mean, it's probably worse than it was, but I know about that. Maybe we'll have to put full fill in there or something, some
I
concrete.
took a ride up there, it was probably close to 2 weeks ago, and I know going up the hill past his house, past his cul-de-sac, going up to the third cul-de-sac, that road on the hill, there was a big hole on the right-hand side that was so large
Yeah,
that
we
you
know
had to
about that.
stop and let people go around it.
I know about that.
Yeah,
Probably getting worse.
yeah.
Those aren't town roads, right? We haven't taken over anything yet, so it's
No,
all the
no,
developer to
this
fix
is still-
those?
Still all developing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's supposed to have he's supposed to have the finish coat on everything up at, that's been that the binder course is down on now. He's supposed to put the finish on before the end of the month, so if he's got issues, he's gotta fix that before he puts the finish on, obviously.
Yep, understood.
Yeah, we reviewed all that too on site.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll have the town engineer go out and take a look, and if he needs any more information, we'll have him get in touch with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Second on the agenda, Rocky Hill Estates, request of Greg Chinaki to release Lot 73 from the covenant.
Lot 73 on your drive. You got pen to sign off, or you don't need it?
Oh, sure, I'll get you.
And Don, you said we already have the check and the forms,
Just check.
and the Form E's filled out?
That's nothing.
Okay.
Copy.
So, we have a copy of the Form E in our folders. So it's basically to release Lot 73. It's for the covenant dated July 22nd, 1987, recorded at the Worcester Registry of Deeds, Book 10797, page 49, and Book 16067, page 132.
We
Plan.
did the check a couple weeks ago, so we're all set with that.
Yeah, plan entitled Rocky Hill Estates, recorded with said deeds, Plan Book 623, Plan 67, and the fee for the release is $3,000. And we have the check already, so would somebody like to make a motion to release Lot 73 and Rocky Hill Estates?
I will make a motion to release said lot.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
And we'll have to get somebody to sign that in front of a notary.
unanimous.
Can somebody stop in tomorrow morning? Any chance?
Can I notarize their signature?
Sure, you're a notary?
I'm a notary.
That's good. That's
Oh,
handy.
an additional benefit.
So the three of us can sign and we'll have.
I'll
witness.
notarize one of you guys, yeah.
Okay.
I don't have my stamp or anything, but my signature should be good enough.
That's good enough. We'll fill in the blanks in there.
2 copies, just one?
The name.
Don, do we need 2 copies of that or just one?
I want a photocopy before we give Greg his copy.
Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot, gentlemen, I'm gonna go.
I
I got the message.
okay,
Okay, thanks a lot.
If you get it tomorrow,
No, I'm.
okay, all right,
okay.
all right.
Guy, I'm gonna notarize your signature.
That's fine. The next one that we have is Piastre Road.
No action.
No, I did talk to the developer, again, about 2 weeks ago, and I know he's currently busy working on our soon-to-be new fire station, but he did tell me that the that the plans were going forward to have it done by the end of this year,
Okay.
so. Country View Estates, this is the one that we have had no luck with contacting the developer. So I don't know if everybody saw the email back and forth with the town administrator, but we've asked the town administrator to put that forward to the Board of Selectmen because they are the highway commissioners, and ultimately they would be accepting the road. There's enough money that's left in the escrow account that we could finish the uncompleted work on that subdivision with the exception of the street trees and get a as-built plan done and get it submitted to the town. So we're just asking them for their permission and then also asking them to run it through town council to find out exactly how we go about doing it.
Town council, too.
Yeah, how we go about doing it, because it's basically like we're gonna seize the escrow account and finish it ourselves, because the developer basically doesn't want to even contact us.
Yeah.
So, at least
Sounds fair.
we're not in a bad situation with that one.
Yep.
The next one, Toven Farm Estates. Have you had any more information come in from them?
No, we were looking up that sidewalk case that you
Yeah,
referenced. We couldn't find that, but we found that other one that was similar to it.
yeah, that was out in Northampton. And that one was missing the ramps and not just the sidewalk. It wasn't missing the total sidewalk, it was just missing the handicap accessible ramps, yeah. And that seemed like it was quite involved, just missing ramps, so I was, after reading that, I was even more nervous about waiving sidewalks altogether. So I think we're gonna need input on that from town council before we agree to waive it or not waive it.
Yeah, I can get in touch with town council about it if you like.
Yeah, if they can give us an opinion letter.
Yeah, because at least that way there, if they say it's okay to waive it, we have it under their opinion and we can point the finger at somebody else other than the planning board. Final inspections associated with site plans. Amp Solar, that's the one out in West Dudley.
Haven't heard any more yet. I guess they're not ready yet.
Yeah, I'm guessing probably with all the rain, they're not going too far, too fast.
Going too far, too fast.
Well, if they're trying to finish it up there, I'm sure they have to do like landscaping, and that's usually, they leave that to the end usually, and if it's raining every day, it's hard to,
Yeah. I'm sure they want to finish it up this year anyway.
yeah, okay,
But do a lot of planting, I would think.
right.
Stabilizing soils and so forth. Something you do in late September, early October, ideally.
Okay, no public hearing, discussion on status of economic development planning, including Phase 2 Economic Development Strategic Plan, commencement of Phase 2 Work Plan.
Well, we set the field trip,
Okay,
so the next thing I have to do is I'm gonna get in touch with over the next day, we're 3 weeks before the next planning board, so we have a little bit of time in there, so I'll get in touch with the consultant at CMRPC, and we'll get that going.
okay. Anything else on the planner's plate?
Well, you saw what you call the Untitled, you have the motion or whatever?
Oh, the cell phone tower.
Cell phone tower case,
So-
right?
yeah, so that was
Dismissed. That's what it is.
Dismissed, or, yeah, thrown out, basically. So that's not a worry. And then, just so everybody else knows, that other legal matter with the subpoena for the aforementioned Rocky Hill Estates subdivision, I talked to the attorney in Boston on that one, and just let her know that it was, thousands of pages of documentation to get copied, and was probably gonna cost a fair amount of money, and see if her clients were willing to pay that. She said that after we talked, she said that she's gonna get back to her clients, let them know what the situation was, but her preference for handling that would be to come out here, have all the documents placed in one room, review the documents, take copies of what she needed, and then,
Review them.
it wouldn't-
Fortunately, except for a few flat maps, they're all in the office.
Okay,
In the dead storage room, there's a few flat maps, that's about it.
okay. So, I mean, she said that she would get back to us. I talked to her probably close to 2 weeks ago.
Initially, she said the 23rd,
Okay.
they were request, but something's happening tomorrow, she hasn't told me anything about it.
Yeah,
so-
no, she hasn't contacted me personally, and I told her that you were in the office usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays if she needed to contact you.
Yeah.
But I told her, let me know what day she would like to come, and we could set something up to have all the documents in one place for her.
Yeah.
So that would make it a lot easier, because, I don't think they realize that we don't have full-time help, and,
Yeah.
it's not like we can burn a CD or something and give it to them. It's all on paper, so.
Literally.
Yeah.
Some of the minutes might be digital, but most of the correspondence is all on paper.
Right. Yeah, and we're also hoping that, previous planners and workers for the planning department printed out every email that came in and put it in the book. We have no guarantee that that's the case. There could be missing correspondence, we don't know. I mean, that goes all the way back to 1990, so it's kind of hard to.
Some of them were printed out, I don't know, all of them weren't, but-
Yeah, and there's been multiple lawsuits, so I think it's the best if she comes out and looks for what she wants, and then if she gets what she wants, that's great. If she doesn't, then I don't really know what to tell her. Okay. Anything else from the planner?
What are you drafting zoning bylaws? Is there anything in particular that you wish to address?
Well,
Addressing the,
you're addressing the marijuana.
yes, a few samples right now. I gave you another sample too from another town that CMRPC recommended as if someone uses sort of as
Have we heard anything back from Forefront Solar on the?
I got a call from, what's his name, Eric? Original developer's son. I think his name's Eric Derschmidt. Called from today trying to find out what happened at the town meeting. And tell him I wasn't there, but maybe he could contact the selectman's office and go to somebody who was actually there. But the way I understood it was that people came out and protesting the solar development in itself.
19 people came out.
Yeah.
There was 51 people at the meeting, 19 people said no, and you need a 2/3 majority vote, so it didn't pass.
Yeah.
But because it was recommended by the planning board, we can bring it back up in the fall if it works out with their solar credits and everything. If
See if they call back, we'll
yeah,
put it back in pretty easily.
one of the homeowners on the street contacted the gentleman that was here, Ed Switzer, and
Yeah.
his immediate response back to them was they don't know if it's gonna work. So if it had passed at the town meeting, it would have been fine, but they don't know if it passes in October, if that still would work for their solar credits.
Hmm.
So I guess it's up to them, the ball's in their court. There's a possibility it could come up again, but
It's out
if
of our hands.
it's out of our hands, we did what we could do. So,
As far as the marijuana bylaw, I think we can draft something that will sort of address it. Like most towns need to be addressing it. It's the special permit use in the business and commercial districts, and it's a special for sales, and it's a special permit in the industrial districts for the growing and the processing and so forth. It's not really a gentleman's farmer thing. You won't really see this on 61A property.
Yep.
It's not that kind of thing.
Okay.
Most of the growing is done indoors, the way I understand it.
Yep.
The controlled conditions. And there's the smell, all that sort of thing, so.
Alright.
We'll sort of start drafting it that way,
Yeah, that'd be fine.
those lines.
And the ones that you had was from Grafton, and where was the other one from?
Grafton and Leicester.
Leicester.
We got one from Harwich. Is it Harwich? No, Hardwick.
Hardwick, okay.
So we'll have a few examples like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's not uncommon for our bylaws to come from, or partially come from other towns.
We still tailor them to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but if those have already passed with the Attorney General, at least we know that we're one step in the right direction.
That's the point. One thing I wanted to ask, you don't have to address medical, but if we're addressing the recreational uses, we address the medical uses as well?
Probably wouldn't hurt.
I don't think so.
Put them together if you can.
Yeah, if we can get them at once.
One bylaw takes care of two situations.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Until you write it.
Okay. All right, any comments from the planning board?
Good.
One more thing, I'm meeting with Greg Balaconis tomorrow, or Friday morning, actually. Some representatives from CMRPC. We're looking to see if there's something we can come in under a block grant for. Looking at filing a block grant application. A few infrastructure things going on and so forth, so it's a possibility. Take a look at it. You know, on that one. Looking to spend the rest of the Green Communities funding that's left over too on the lighting project for the town.
Okay.
So that's looking good.
All right. And the last item on the agenda, comments from the audience. Any more comments?
We made his comments, I guess.
Okay. So that would take us to the end of the agenda. Somebody would like to make a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
Second?
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous? Thank you and good night.